Hi guys, I'm a Forester here. Today I'm going to review my Hamilton Spirit of Liberty wristwatch. You know, watches play different roles. For instance, I wear this Casio Forester. This is a new watch for me. When I work outside, it has one of these NATO bands, and I really can't hurt it no matter how hot it is outside. But this Hamilton is the nicest watch that I own, and it usually only gets worn when I dress up. Going to church on a Sunday morning, you'll usually find me wearing this Hamilton along with this Chris Reeve Menundi. They make a great combo. The Spirit of Liberty gets its name from its distinctive early American styling of the watch, and specifically from this engraving that's on the band. It says, "Without liberty, life is a misery." That's a quote from Andrew Hamilton. Andrew Hamilton was a lawyer, a Pennsylvania politician, and the founder of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which was the home to Hamilton Watch Company. He was a proponent of free speech, and I thought it was appropriate to feature this watch on July 4th today, Independence Day. The Spirit of Liberty is in Hamilton's American Classic Collection. It's model number H424450. It has a very classic styling that appeals to me. Let's look at the watch face first. It has a silver face with a very subtle sunburst pattern on it. Now it's so subtle you may not actually be able to pick it up, but I hope that you can. The hands and the 5-minute marks are colored rose gold to match the stainless steel case. The hands are very delicate, I think that's obvious, but I like the way that allows for accurate time setting. Now the watch face is uncluttered with small minute marks, and the 5-minute labels are also very small. But you know, I find that I don't need those anyway. The day number, in this case 4, is at the 30-minute mark, and it's large enough to be seen easily. Now as I mentioned, the case is made of stainless steel. It's a perfect size for me at 42 millimeters in width. It has a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective treatment. The crown has 2 stop positions, one to set the date and the second position to set the time. Now this does have a hacking movement, so the second hand stops when they're setting the time. It allows for very accurate syncing with the atomic clock. Now I set this yesterday and it's maybe 1 second off 24 hours later. I'll let you see for yourself because this is the watch, and you've seen this Casio before, that I set it by. And you can watch that second hand move around. It's maybe 1 second slow. So in 30 days that would be possibly 30 seconds off. The crown, I'll show this, has an H for Hamilton on it. Very classy touch. Let's move on to the leather band, because in the case of this watch I think the band really enhances the look of the watch. It's made of pig leather. Let me give you a look at both sides. And I love the patina on the band. I think it goes well in particular with the walnut on this Menundi. It's 22 millimeters in width, at least here at the lugs. Has excellent stitching. I've already shown you that laser engraving. One thing I want to point out though is the padding that seems to be stitched into this band on both sides. It's very thick, and it makes this band, at least for this section of it, very stiff, which doesn't aid in comfort, and I'll mention that more later. The clasp is a unique design that I haven't seen before except on Hamilton watches. I'm not sure if it's patented by Hamilton or not. Here you can see the name of Hamilton on the outside of the clasp. Now squeezing these tabs together on both sides pinches these arms right here so that they fit inside. They're made on the opposite side. And it seems to be a fairly secure clasp so far. Now just as unique is the way this clasp adjusts for length. This pin right here is moved from hole to hole to adjust for length. This protects the leather from wear as much as possible. That's what it looks like on the underside. Moving on to the back of the watch, you can see the new H10 automatic movement. It's a Swiss movement developed with ETA. Its main advantage is that it lengthened the power reserve up to 80 hours. The rotor, as you can see, is skeletonized, and you can see the Hamilton name engraved on it. I believe this crystal on the back is also sapphire crystal. The case and crystal are water resistant down to 165 feet. I don't plan on getting it wet at all though. I'll slip the watch on my arm and let you see how it looks on me. The strength of this watch is that it's a real looker. I was doing some yard work yesterday. We had a tree fall down in the yard during a storm, and that's how I got scratched up. But you know, I looked a long time for a dress watch before deciding on this one, but when I saw this one for the very first time, I knew I had found my watch. It isn't perfect though, and that's what I want to mention now. It looks good, looks great, and it keeps accurate time, but the band is uncomfortable to wear. Now I have it cinched down pretty tight right now, so it's going to stay in place, but it's really too tight for comfort. Let me open it up just one notch and show you what happens. And fortunately it's very easy to open. Just raise the leather and slide it out to where that pin falls in the next hole. That's the adjustment, very easy to make. Okay, now it's much more comfortable, but this stiff leather and the clasp design cause this band to gape open. Now I'm not sure I can show it, but basically right there it gapes open a little bit. And it's, like I say, it's partly because this leather is stiff, because of that padding, and also the way this clasp is designed, it fits around this bone in my wrist. And what happens is over time as I wear it, the watch wants to shift into a more comfortable position for it, and it pushes back that way. And it's very uncomfortable and awkward for me. Now this isn't a showstopper for me, but I think it's at least worth mentioning in a review. It might just be the shape of my wrist and you may not have any problem at all. Overall, I absolutely love this watch and I plan to wear it the rest of my life. How's that for an endorsement? I hope you've enjoyed this review. I may make a follow-up video to discuss this engraving that's on the band that says, "Without liberty, life is a misery." There it is in focus. I didn't buy the watch because of that engraving, but there could be much to discuss in those few words. Y'all take care.